From the shadow of Mount Rainier comes your business superheroes, the Disruptors, Bill and Candace.
I'm Bill.
And I'm Candace.
And we're the Disruptors.
Yay! Welcome to the show, everybody.
Yeah, we have a special guest again today.
We do, but we're extra honored.
Yes, we are.
And privileged to have Denise Anderson here of Avante Group. And today, we're going to talk about insurance life. And what does that really mean?
Life insurance.
Life insurance.
Oh, that's so confusing. There's so many life insurance programs, products. I wouldn't even know where to start.
It's kind of confusing, don't you think?
Yeah, it's totally confusing.
Well, Denise, welcome to the show. I am so glad that you can come and give us phenomenal insight so that we can make powerful decisions. Knowledge is power. I keep wanting to say that. So,
well, thanks for inviting me. I am just overwhelmed to be here. Thank you very much.
You bet.
Oh, a lot of our guests are usually overwhelmed or they leave the car running and they leave right away. So it's nice to have you
That's
here.
Just Bill's cousins.
You know, it's all relatives, yeah.
Well, you're stuck with me today, so.
Oh, well.
Yay!
We're in good shape. Well, tell us, Denise, a little bit about insurance. And what, for instance, in the case of my associate right here, what kind of insurance would she be looking at?
As I tell most people, I can't tell you that. I don't have enough information. And that's where you go wrong. You ask advice from people who don't know what they're talking about. You know, the recommendations I make for her are going to be different from you and from the next person. So I like to sit down with people and find out what their goals, their dreams, and what they want to do so that I can tell you the appropriate product or products for your specific situation. Like you said, it is just very confusing because there are a lot of products. So I want to educate you on what they are, narrow it down to the product or two that would be best for you, and let you decide which is best for you in your situation.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. Well, then, can you take just a moment then and maybe give us kind of a couple of examples of different products?
The term insurance is something everybody knows, and term is, I call it kind of like renting your insurance. You buy it for a certain term, maybe 10, 20 years, and when you're done, you don't own it, and there's no cash value or anything, and you just stop paying for it. And that sometimes is used like because you want to make sure if something happens to you, maybe a mortgage is paid off, so you buy it specifically for
the mortgage? Oh.
You know, or for the mortgage. Then there's what I like to call permanent, and that's where people get confused. There's whole life and indexed and all kinds of different ones. But it's kind of like buying your insurance. You pay a little bit more for it up front, but you pay less down the road, and you have equity in it. And the nice thing about it is you have access to that equity that you have there.
Kind of like a savings account then?
Yeah.
You're kind of building it up like a savings account that you can use, the equity of the policy, I see.
Mm-hmm. See, I'm young enough I could take full advantage of that. That might not be the case for you.
No, that's true.
And that's not true either.
Oh, man, you can take advantage like the young people?
Oh, my goodness.
We can usually issue policies up to age 80 or 85, depending on most companies.
So you're not older than dirt.
85. Wow.
Bill's always telling me he's older than dirt.
Dinosaur. Older than dinosaurs. Yeah. But you can actually purchase insurance in your age. You know, I find this kind of interesting because every time I turn around, it seems like when you hit that golden year of senior citizen, the rates go up, what they cover goes down, and it's just kind of a, you know, it's like we know you're going to die, so we're going to charge you more and give you back less.
Well, what happens is no matter what the price of the insurance is, you're still buying money at a discount.
So that's a great way to look at it. Could you say that again?
You're purchasing money at a discount.
Purchasing money at a discount.
That's interesting.
If I turn around and you were 20 and I said, you know, I can get you $1,000 if you give me $10, how many times would you do it?
Several times.
Well, now if you're 80 and I said I can give you $80, you give me $85 and I'll give you $100 back, would you still do it?
Yeah, you're still making $15.
Yeah, you're still making $15. That's true. That's very true.
So when you're older, it's more about what I like to call is a legacy. Mm-hmm. If you want to leave more money for your family and your heirs, sometimes it just makes sense to purchase life insurance. The other nice thing about it is you transfer those dollars most of the time tax-free.
Oh.
So
We like that already, tax-free.
and you can usually avoid probate, and the money goes directly to your heirs. There's a lot of advantages.
To having actual insurance in place at that
Yeah.
particular time.
The other thing, a lot of people, long-term care insurance used to be separate,
Yes.
and it can be costly. But now there's life insurance and annuities that you can get long-term care
Yeah,
riders on. So you can have access to your money if you need it for long-term care use also. Like
Yeah,
we said,
that
so
makes a
there
big
are
difference.
so many different things
Wow.
available out there. You just can't make recommendations. I like to sit down with people and find out, again, what is their life and their situation. And the other thing is you need to review it on a yearly basis because life happens and life changes. So as those changes happen, then we can adjust the plan. And, companies every few years sometimes even have new products. So if you have an old life policy, there may be a better policy now. And sometimes the older ones work just fine.
Just as fine.
Yeah.
Well, where will we find you, first of all? Where's your office at?
I'm at 22811 Meridian, Suite B in Graham, Washington.
Uh-huh. And we can give you a call at
206-745-2917. I'm also available. I do go to clients' homes if they're more comfortable.
Holy
there,
smokes!
too.
Actually,
like a
go to a
concierge.
client's home.
Yep. So I
Isn't
will
that
travel.
something?
That's awesome. So she's got a concierge service. Mm-hmm. To be quite honest with you, I would prefer my attorney comes to my office. Love that fact. Because then that way I don't have to go, that's the truth of the matter. I don't have to go to him. So I love that service.
And it was really nice, yes, because you can actually see what's going on. You can calmly discuss what's going on and get to know a relationship and understanding of the products that they're presenting to you and see how they fit instead of in an office and a lot of pressure and do I sign here what I want to think about it. And it just seems like so much easier to do it that way at home. And how many insurance agents do you know, Candace, that would do that?
Now you're making me think. I don't know of any right off the top of my head that would come to my office.
And then you have the other avenue to look at, which is you get on the computer to a machine who gives you X number of quotes of different insurance companies.
Yeah,
and
that's so impersonable.
I won't mention names of the company, but you're right. You're dealing with automation. You're not dealing with a human whatsoever. So how can you really get a real balance of what you need? The computer's not going to know.
Well, and you've got people that are logged in to go ahead and take a look at your Facebook page. You've got followers, so that's at Avanti Group, AVANTI GROUP, and so
We got to make sure we tell everybody that when you go there, you got to like the page.
yeah, like the page.
Heavens, yes, you got to like the page. And we're going to be putting, I'm sure she'll have tips on the page of things to look for in insurance purchasing and different products or activities where you can meet with her and things of this nature that really kind of helps you build a relationship so that you know, I'm really, really, really know she's going to give me the straight story. Facts in a professional way. And I think that's so very, very important nowadays.
And I'm independent, so I have more than one company I go through. So again, diversity in products and companies. Different companies tend to, have better products. If you're term, one company might have better term products, another one might have better permanent products. And the other thing is I've been in the industry 27 years.
Well,
So I have seen all the changes from
And I
to
imagine
admit
it's
it
been a few
27 years ago to currently, and I've personally just experienced in my own family. My parents had bought life insurance through me back in the 90s, and my mom became ill, and we also had a long-term care policy for her, and we were able to kick in her long-term care for 2 years, and then she passed away.
Wow.
And it wasn't a large policy. by any means, but it is giving my dad the security to know that he can still live in the same house,
Which
in
makes
the
a
same
difference, you bet.
place, and just be able to afford the same standard of living. And so some people say, well, you don't need it when you get older or, younger or whatever. If you can, like we said, life insurance is there because most people either die too young or live too long, and you don't know which. And so it's always there to protect you and your loved ones. So, like you said, it's very important to have life insurance.
I was just going to ask you, what's a good age to, if I'm a young person, what's a good age if I was to think about, because, when I was 18, I did not think, I thought I was invincible until I realized I'm really not. So whatever the age that was, what's a great age to get started?
You can actually get started at any age, and I know that, again, personal experience, an employee of mine lost her son at 19 years old.
Oh,
that's how awful that would have been.
Just the cost for the funeral was a burden to the family.
Sure.
And so we don't like to talk about those things, but it happens. So, any age is appropriate, and I know some people say, well, young people don't need it, and I'm invincible, but we just don't know. Like you said, you're not going to probably convince an 18-year-old. Most people, it's about the time when they get married and start families, they actually start thinking more about it. If you're younger, you can think of it as your savings plan. Your life insurance can be your savings plan, so that when you get married, you'll have something. You'll have something, because the other issue is yes, you have to be healthy to a certain extent, but you have to be insurable. So,
boy, that opens up a can of worms also, does it not?
Right. You can't get diagnosed with cancer and then come to me and say you want to buy life insurance. It just...
Does that really happen?
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay. I would imagine that, sure.
The two times most people call a life insurance agent and say they want insurance is either they've got in a health issue and want to know if they still can get insurance, or a family member has passed. Because we don't like to think about...
Well, you don't think about it. You're absolutely right. You
don't like to think about it. So
not at all. That's not a favorite subject at all.
It's not a favorite subject at all.
Well, here's the deal, though. None of us are getting out of here alive.
Nope.
And, no matter whatever your belief is around death, the fact is that we'll all cross that bridge when we come to it, in however which way. And it's just really being prepared, not only to leave a legacy for those that are behind, but to take care of your business while, maybe you weren't able to tie up all those loose ends. So it just gives I think it gives peace of mind, Are you able, Denise, to go and talk to businesses or, let's say, employees or large groups about different options, or do you do that? Do you speak out in the community?
Yes, you can. But if you go to an employer who has, let's say, 50 or 100 employees, the employees will have to do it through their own checking accounts. They can't.
Okay.
They can't do life insurance. You can do some group life insurance through payroll.
Payroll deduction.
Payroll deduction, and you can do that. But if you're healthy, it's better to do it on your own. Because they have what they call simplified underwriting.
Sure.
And so it's a little more costly because they're taking into consideration, maybe 50 or 100 people, one or two might not be healthy. But so there are, those plans are usually limited to a certain amount. And make sure if you purchase through your employer that your plan is portable. Because so many times we move from employer to employer to employer.
That's a great point.
If you got a payroll deduct, at XYZ company and you go to ABC
company,
you want to make sure it's portable. And those are the things that, when people meet with me, bring all your policies, bring all your stuff. Let's go through it. Let's see what's good. Let's see what's,
what's
like
usable or not usable.
And again, it's just the knowledge will let you make informed choices. Too many times people, especially in group situations, will just check boxes. Oh, yeah, I should have something.